So when I was 25, I'd been working for 18 months at Salford Council. I joined the trade union the first day at work just because it just seemed like a natural thing to do. Parents from the trade union. I studied politics at university, so I was relatively politically aware. And it seemed like a good vehicle to get involved in.
Right. So what did you do then? Did you just put yourself up for one of the positions or what?
Yeah, because I was interested in becoming a steward, but my boss is already a steward at Salford, so there wasn't a position for another steward. So he actually mentioned, I think he must have mentioned, because I did international politics at university, so he actually mentioned that there was no one else filling the position of the international officer.
Okay, so you became the international officer.
So yeah, you had to do a 6-month the 6-month period where you can't become an officer apparently, which I wasn't aware of. So yeah, I started in January, and in July I started as the international officer because it was unopposed, no one else wanted to do it. There wasn't any real guidance or advice.
Right. But you just got cracking, I believe, on that Burma.
Yeah, I had a look around at what other people had been doing as international officers, and it was predominantly Cuba, Colombia, Central and South America, which is fair enough. But I thought, well, maybe I'll try and do something a bit different.
Yeah.
And what's the role of the international officer?
I think I don't think there's any defined role. I think you'd make it what you want, really. I think ideally you meant to try and involve the wider workforce membership, making them aware of international issues and getting them to take part in solidarity actions, whatever that might be. It's all a bit vague. So yeah, I had a look around, and Burma struck me as an issue because trade unions banned in Burma, forced labour. Yeah, and it's not really one that many international officers touch on. So I thought. And
do you think it was popular with the members?
Actually,
to hear about it.
That's it, because maybe the work that I've done hasn't really been aimed at the members, as in part, but more just been the general public in Greater Manchester and beyond. So we did an event. The first thing we did in Salford, we put on a music night. Actually, it was in Manchester City Centre actually. But so a few members came to it, but most of it was just people who just saw the night advertising, came along and listened to this Burmese man speaking and the music. So yeah, people are interested because it's hardly ever in the media.
Yeah.
And it's quite a shocking case. So.
Okay. And you think you could recommend other people being an international officer in their branch?
I think it's the good point is you've got the freedom within reason to do what you want, I suppose. So I did some pretty random stuff. One thing we nominated Aung San Suu Kyi to get freedom of the city in Salford because they'd previously given it to Nelson Mandela, even though he's never been to Salford. So it set a bit of a precedent. So I thought, well, Aung San Suu Kyi, that might help raise the profile further in Salford. So we went to the Labour councillors, and they initially agreed to it because it's quite it's a Labour Party issue. They're all in favour of Aung San Suu Kyi, and so they agreed to it. They were going to pass it through all their various committees. Then we didn't hear anything for a few months. So we got back in touch with them saying what's going on with this Freedom of the City Award, and then they said, oh, sorry, we've changed our mind, we're giving it to Ryan Giggs instead.